the economy is not as much good as it's supposed to be. Now, why is this? Why are our bank accounts or credit, debt, or interest or whatever not the way we want it? Why, in spite of all the changes we make to the financial system, or how much money we spend, or how much money we borrow, or how much things we produce, we always seem to be disturbed by what goes on in the economy, thinking this is not how it has to be. It can be better. But what exactly is this? Do we just repair the system? Do we just restore things to where we thought they were working already? Or has it never really worked the way it really should work? We have a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, even in America, the richest country in the world, and who also uses the most energy for any country in the world. Why do we have this feeling that we don't have enough money, or our bank account is so little that we have to borrow money? It's like, once we spend the money, the money we spend it goes from our bank account, and if we use a credit or debit card, it doesn't take that long for it to go to some other bank account where it's deposited there. So we think, okay, well, our savings are going down, but the money has gone somewhere else. So it's deposited somewhere else, or either that it's under our mattress. In that case, it's not deposited in any bank. But our savings, it's going somewhere. Our paycheck to paycheck, our cash is moving really fast relative to how much we have in our accounts. Where did all this money go? I mean, if we're borrowing a lot of money, what does this mean? It seems that although we are earning some paycheck, we are spending more than our paychecks, and we could get a whole bunch of people who are doing this together. It means that money has to be going out somewhere out there, maybe in another country or something, where then we can import more things and, create the debt. Now all those dollars are going to be over in those countries. So what happens? What do they do with those dollars? Not every market out there, not every store out there accepts dollars. So what they do, they lend it to us, and they try to, it's even more debt. You see? I mean, even if you don't stop it at the American border, you can think about any random aggregate of people who are in debt, and then compare that to people who are lending, money. Now, why are we borrowing so much money then? The reason is simple. We just don't feel like we have enough money in our bank account, and we're just gonna borrow money. But see, here's the thing: when we earn money, it's like that. But when we spend money, it's like that. So it leaves as abruptly, as brutally as we get it. So of course we're gonna feel like we're deprived of our savings, and we're gonna borrow money. But if let's say if we gained money, just like that with our paycheck, but then let's say when we spend something, it doesn't automatically reduce our balance. It just slightly reduces it for a number of periods, so it's buffered. It's like a shock absorber. Like you have in a car, you have a shock absorber, and it reduces the shocks, and your car can run more efficiently and further on the same gas, because the ability of the shocks to be mitigated by your shock absorber. Now, what happens if, let's say that you have a bank account, and then you have $1,000 savings after you get your paycheck, and then you spend your money in the same week. Okay, let's say we spent this week we spent $1,200. Now we just had to borrow $200. Then we get our paycheck, it's back to $1,000. But then we see where this is going. These fluctuations every single week, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So what is this gonna leave us? We're gonna end up with a lot of borrowed money that, because of all this disorder, we're gonna not pay it every time, and we're just gonna let it collect, and whatever. It's gonna cost us in the long run, and it's going to cost us to spend more money than we're earning. And of course, that means dollars is going to go outside, those who borrow into those people who are not borrowing as much. So, this is how credit cards make money, and there's loans and stuff. This is the way the financial system has funded itself. Not through taxes, not through government employees or anything where you just pay taxes. Where the burden is shared. The costs are directed and pinned down to those who borrow more, etc. Especially those who want to go to college. They'll borrow a lot of money, and then of course if they can't pay it back, if their job's not good enough, the market shrinks. Then you're gonna have a lot of people who try to go to college and their market's not good enough for their degree. Then you're gonna have a lot of this debt. They're gonna carry on until they retire, if they can do that. So, you see, why do we need to have our balances deducted at the same time as the balances of other people are increased? Why can't we just defer this? Maybe they just could have their balance increase, okay? Then they can just continue running. The businesses, whatever, they can continue to function. Whereas our balances, as far as what we can spend, well, shouldn't we just dampen it a little bit and spread it out over time? So we don't need to borrow as much money. So that way we don't have to borrow as much money, it doesn't leak out to other places, and so on. It would be easier on the pocket. Wouldn't that be easier? Let me tell you. Wouldn't it be easier if, after getting your paycheck, you did not have to suffer the fluctuation up, down, and hit the bottom of your bank account every single week, and you could just level it off, smooth it off so that it doesn't, force you to borrow money just for some immediate expense? That would be a lot easier. Okay? Be a lot easier. Or else, we're gonna suffer, maybe, depression or something. It's worldwide. It may have serious consequences on our savings, our health, and everything else, because this is a very big thing, and it's important. Alright? So think about what I just said, and what other people on YouTube said, especially this guy, who says about the black swan, and which I like this video a lot. So I hope you know that there's a way to get hope, but there's a real solution, and not everyone has it. And there's reasons why we borrow. Alright? No, it's not yet.